My guest is a foremost Nollywood actor, and in the swift move, he became a political activist. In the build-up to the 2023 elections, he emerged as a leading spokesman of the Peter Obi presidential campaign. But in a surprising move after the election and series of court cases, he resigned from the Obi's camp. Now that Nigeria is on the march again toward the 2027 elections, and Peter Obi has indicated interest to run for president, will barrister Kenneth Okwonkwo stage a return to the camp he once left? I am Shomomo Imodu. This is Fireworks. We put them under check. Barrister Kenneth Okwonkwo, nice to have you on my talk today.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and
right.
It's my pleasure welcoming everybody watching us from any part of the world.
Now, in the build-up to the 2023 election, you became very, your advocacy became strong in helping to refix Nigeria. But before then, people knew you so well as the man who is very active in the Nollywood. Now, the perception out there is that you left the career that brought you fame.
Well, you know, there's no retirement age in acting. Because when you become a child, you can be given the role of a child. When you become an adult, when you become a grandfather. So there's no retirement age. Once a Nollywood actor, always a Nollywood actor. Yeah. So I am still a Nollywood actor, and my constituency will always be Nollywood.
But now you are a key player in the political scene.
Absolutely.
Now in 2023, below 2023, you decided to pitch tent with Mr. Peter Obi, and you were the leading spokesman for that presidential campaign. Tell us briefly, how did you feel fitting into that circle of the man who people said never had a structure and wanted to become the president of Nigeria?
Yeah, first and foremost, I pitched my tent with the people of Nigeria. People of Nigeria were looking for a new Nigeria. And I entered politics for the security and welfare of Nigerians. And so, in 2023, I made it very clear that it was the turn of the Southeast in 2023 to produce the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. First and foremost, because it was to rotate back to the South. And in the South, it was only the Southeast that had not produced the President and the Vice. And Peter Obi came along as a man that was qualified from the Southeast and a man committed to the new Nigeria I was looking for. And then he was my candidate and I campaigned for him. I do not believe you need structures to win election. You need the people. However, our experience in 2023 has made me to know that in Nigeria, because of the fraudulent practices of the electoral body and the politicians, you need structures to defend your vote. So
so you agree that you need structure?
Very well. These two need to go together.
Okay.
The people and the structure.
Okay.
They are very important in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. And this is Nigerian politics.
This is Nigerian politics, my brother.
So we'll play the politics according to Nigeria.
Absolutely. According to your environment.
Now, I like what you have just said. You need the people and you need the structure
to be able to defend their votes when they give to you.
Now, after the election, there was a series of court cases.
Yes.
And also now we have a build-up to the 2027 election.
Yes.
Do you think that Mr. Peter Obi also is building his structure, or is just talking about the people? Because a lot of people said, where is the structure? Is it the obedient movement that is the structure? Is obedient a political party?
Now, you should be asking Peter Obi and his spokespersons. You are actually asking the wrong person.
Okay.
I am not in his structure, so I wouldn't be able to tell you whether he's building or not. So I know that he's now a member of ADC.
ADC, yeah.
And I know that ADC is building structures from the polling unit to the highest level.
Now, if you are invited,
as a party,
if he invites you to work with him ahead of 2027, will you join his camp?
I am a member of the National Working Committee of ADC. So I work for ADC until our candidate emerges,
You will
then
not
the
decide.
party will work for the candidate. So I will work for whoever emerges as the candidate of ADC.
Now, I listened to one of your interviews on a different platform, and I just like to quote some of the things you said. You said, when he says somebody betrayed him,
Yes.
it is not true. Obi is the one betraying himself. Again, you said, nobody is murdering Obi's political career. Obi is committing political suicide.
Yeah.
Do you still agree with those things you said?
I say what I mean, and I mean
Has
what I
anything
say.
changed from what you have observing about this man? Has anything changed?
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, and that should satisfy you on that.
Now the ADC is one of the key political parties, the opposition political parties in Nigeria. We have the PDP.
Only.
We have the PDP. We have the Labour Party.
No, they're dead.
How would you say they are dead?
They're existing on paper.
They all have crises. The ADC has crisis.
The crisis has reached the point that even the constitution said you can leave the party. INEC has not recognized the leadership of either party. You can see how their candidates were rejected because they did not emanate from the due process of a recognized leadership of the party.
But anything can happen between now and 2027. INEC can just choose tomorrow to recognize, or the court might give a ruling to recognize either of them, and PDP, Labour Party, will swing into action.
How many months to the election?
Now, if
I
you
just
think-
told you about the importance of structures. And structures are very important. Whatever you do to PDP or LP now, they will not be in the good position to compete against an incumbent whose leader has elicited the resolve that power is not served a la carte. You fight for it, you grab it, you snatch it and run away with it. That was what Tinubu said. So if you are an opposition party and you are not organized, you want to face such a man, he will make a mincemeat of you. So as we are going to 2027, the whole opposition are united in one resolution. We will go into this contest together, and together we will retire Tinubu to body.
When you say the whole opposition, are there talks between the PDP, the ADC, and also the Labour Party? Are there talks going on?
The NMP, every opposition party, there is a talk for us to unite, and that talk will succeed, because you don't deal with an incompetent and corrupt government and not have a unity amongst the opposition leaders. Let's talk about what is happening from January 1. As I'm talking to you, a nurse, Chinemerem Chukwumeziem of the FMC, whose medical director, Professor Said Ahmed, described as a rising star whose future has great promise, was cut down on the street of Abuja, serving his fatherland. And I am talking about a lady that was made the best nurse of the year 2025 by FMC, Federal Medical Center. What about the lawyer, the former treasurer of the MBA, Mwabo Chibo, Mwamaka Chibo? She's cut down. The same method. Chinemerem's case happened on the 3rd. The political elites governing the federal and the FCT did not do anything. On the 5th, the same thing happened to a lawyer.
The insecurity is one thing that bothers a lot of Nigerians, and it's one crisis that outlived several governments. Since the time Boko Haram came in, we've been dealing with Boko Haram, we've been dealing with banditry and all that. Now, what do you think is the way to deal with this challenge?
Now, in 2023 campaign, I told Nigerians that PDP, APC, they are two heads of a monster. And I said it that they do not have the truth in them. They are the problem, part of the problem of this country. You rightly pointed out this insecurity issue, or let's say the terrorism angle of the insecurity issue,
Which gave rise to every other one.
Started in 2009 when PDP was in power. But that was limited to the Northeast. Today, as I talk to you, it is everywhere in Nigeria. Every day it is happening. 5 people were just killed in Ibadan. National Park. And Tinubu is in charge of the security alone.
When you say he cannot bring state police, is it the executive that would decree a state police?
Yes.
Or the National Assembly will work on it?
Yes.
Make the necessary laws to bring about state police?
Who decreed the tax laws?
The state police, is it? It's
no,
not a
who decreed the tax laws?
No,
it was an executive bill. Now, by law, the executive has the right to send
push for an executive bill for
which the National Assembly will approve. So it is the executive that forms the policy of government, and then the legislature now makes the law. The difference is that the legislature can originate law, individuals can originate law, but if it is a priority for this government, like the tax, which is meant to increase the burden of Nigerians, now you are in this place. I invited you. You can see we don't have light. We celebrated Christmas in darkness, celebrated New Year in darkness, and they say national grid collapse. This government is not offering any infrastructure. He has removed subsidy. He is only interested in punishing the people more.
Let's come back to this. We started talking about security,
yes,
and you move into the stocks. Let's stay with the issue. We move from an issue to an issue.
Go ahead.
Before now, we had this insecurity, and I remember that when President Jonathan was in charge, there are certain individuals just around the election period that came and said we're going to make Nigeria ungovernable.
Yes,
and also. Election is just around the corner. You have heightened.
Yes,
individuals. I'm not going to mention names of individuals. You must have heard it. I was on on my platform on Fireworks. One of the key leaders said if Jonathan was going to contest that re-election, that they will make Nigeria ungovernable. And for the next 4 years, after the doctrine of necessity, he was busy dealing with the issue of terrorism. Now, what I'm asking is, could it be a political tool of blackmail that just before a major election you're going to have heightened insecurity because some people want to use it to political bargain? Is that political coloration to this heightened insecurity? I asked you a question.
That's what I'm saying. You know why I'm saying this? How can a government that is in charge of all the coercive powers, the police, the army, the whole armed forces, the intelligence, come and give you excuse that opposition or some people in the government is trying to use insecurity?
I didn't say government said it. People. I said on my platform somebody said that if you run, we'll make it ungovernable. Yeah. And I also observed that just before a major election again, there is a heightened insecurity. But I'm asking you, is it that? I didn't say anybody said it. Is it that?
That is what I'm saying. That's the propaganda of the ruling government. When Tinubu came into power, he was greeted with a massacre of people in Benue, of people in Plateau. 500 persons they were killed in Plateau.
But Mr. Kenneth, you're a spokesman for Peter Obi, and just before that election, Mr. Peter Obi also alluded to the fact that if he becomes the president of Nigeria, was going to remove the subsidy.
He didn't say that he was going to.
He said all the
Can you allow me to stop to talk?
Yeah.
I said he did not say it that he will irresponsibly remove first subsidy.
The question the question is,
without having a cabinet,
did he say he will remove it or not?
Kenneth Okwonkwo would have removed first subsidy.
So why blame a government that had the guts to remove the subsidy?
I will not stay in inauguration ground before having a cabinet, before assessing the impact of the first subsidy.
The question is the time,
without bringing
timing.
soft landing for the poor people.
Okay, so it's the timing, not the subsidy that is the issue.
Of course, the timing, because I told the president, wait, I granted an interview a day after he removed that subsidy. That was when I told people we have to be as careful in coming out of oil subsidy as we are careless in going in.
All right.
Now, what he would have done, like I said, allowed our refineries to start working first and allow that there will be no monopoly. In other words, when you have sufficient supply and you have competition, like we did in our telecommunication, we remove the subsidy.
But now we left off talking about subsidy, the timing of subsidy, and also you said that it should have allowed the refineries to start working
to ensure supplies, and then
now
would have
let's
ensured
take our minds.
no monopoly.
Let's take our mind back
Yes.
to the previous governments that
Yes.
have done taken several steps to ensure that our refinery work. We've had series of turnaround maintenance,
Yes.
and billions, even some people have said trillions, have been spent
I agree with you.
without anything coming out from it.
Sure.
And you still want government to devote its fund into those refineries. Now, if you were to have an opportunity,
Yes.
will you invest in those refineries, or you will tactically look for other means to help other refineries to come up because it keeps gulping public fund?
What I said in my interview before now, sell off the refineries. How can you for 30 years?
Is it that easy to sell off?
Very easy.
Well, you're not aware that Obasanjo sold the refinery, and when Yar'Adua came in,
He reversed it.
Labor pressured him
Yes.
and said it must be reversed.
You are an incompetent government and leader. If you're pressured to do the wrong thing, you are the one wearing the shoes of government. You are the one that was voted in by the people, and you're telling me this person pressured you.
So
Sorry.
the subsidy that was being
You
paid.
should tell people what they should hear, not what they want to hear. Spending
Are
money
you
on the
comfortable?
refineries.
Are you comfortable
They told
with
us
people?
it will work. By
Barrister,
December,
are
when
you
Tinubu came in,
comfortable? Are you
3 years
comfortable
into
that we
his
should be
regime, it has
spending
not worked,
subsidy?
and he's still spending money, throwing money away to people to swallow. Now you allow people to eat all the money, and then you come back to say EFCC, and the EFCC people maybe will continue the era of politicking.
Let's take a look at this subsidy.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate you keep talking
I
about.
agree with
you
you.
keep,
The
you keep talking.
government has no business spending
Barrister,
one
why
more
not
naira
listen to my
with the
question?
refineries.
Why not listen to my question?
Privatize them.
Do you want? Do you want?
Dangote that came in, is it owned by government? And that is about one of the largest refineries in the world.
And what is government?
30 years ago,
What is
if they
government?
had
Is government not
privatized
the ability
they
to
would have
create
had
the
many
environment?
refineries like Dangote's, and we wouldn't have a problem spending 1 naira in dead horses.
Does that not surprise you?
Yes.
Or does that not surprise the public that this government
Yes.
also facilitated the ground for the Dangote refinery to run? That the first time in about 4 decades,
Yes.
we now have our own local refinery that is refining our own fuel. Is that not a plus on government? Because if you blame government
Yes.
for certain failures, shouldn't you give credit also to government for certain things that happen?
I thought you would have been talking like a Nigerian. If this government has been helping Dangote, why is Dangote gasping for breath? Why is Dangote fighting Nuprik? Why is Dangote fighting Nimipra?
Is the government the cartel?
Good.
Is the government the
What
cartel?
is when Dangote was building during Buhari's regime, did you hear him go through all this stress? When Tinubu came in, Dangote
When he was
screamed.
building, not when he was producing.
Hold on. When Tinubu came in, the first thing Dangote said is that they are fighting the refinery. That the cartel of the oil is more dangerous.
And what did the
than
government
that
say?
of the drug.
And what did the government say?
Why did
Even the vice
government
president.
allow
Let me
such
remind you.
cartel
Let
to
me
be
remind
fighting
you. Let me
Dangote?
remind you what the vice president said.
Dangote is gasping for life.
Barrister, take time
If
to
not
listen to
that-
my question.
no,
Take time to listen to my question.
No,
I'm asking you
you're
the
not
question.
taking time to listen to the
I'm
answer.
asking you the question.
Good.
You talked about that. You said the cartel fighting. When the
listen.
vice president said
Yes.
that Dangote refinery is a national asset that must be protected.
Good.
And that was a direct statement to the cartel that said they must keep importing. And at the end of the day, the man who was in charge of the one of the regulators that had issues with Dangote, what happened to him? The government decided to let him go because the government wanted the local refinery to survive. So the cartel is the issue. And from what you have seen, the steps taken by the government, is it not positive that the government is not backing the cartel?
Now, what I'm telling you is this. Let them supply all the crude that Dangote need to produce for us so that the price will come down. What I'm saying is this. There are certain products that goes to the roof the root of the economy, and such like oil. You should give Dangote all the necessary assistance without allowing monopoly. We should not allow Dangote to use whatever means to come out to become a monopolist. No, because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Nobody, no one single human being should be entrusted with all the powers, whether in industry or government. But Tinubu by now ought to have sold the refineries to major competitors that can build it in order to give us competition in the oil industry. Dangote is not having the assistance, and that is why he's fighting. Remember, he said he's going to fight. Do you fight when the government is giving you all the assistance? No.
That is just an assumption.
No.
That is just
that
an
is
assumption.
What happened.
No,
there are other ministers that we have accused.
Let's go to the realignment. Let's go to the realignment in the opposition camp.
Yeah.
You are in the ADC. You are in the opposition. So it is acceptable when you talk down a government, you are in the opposition.
Thank you.
Now, what will you do differently if your party is given the opportunity in 2027?
Alternative. First and foremost, the security and welfare of the people is the primary duty of government. We are going to wage war, total war on insecurity, and we will wipe them out.
How?
The only repentant terrorist is a dead one. That is what El-Rufai said, and I agree with him on that.
Barrister,
we don't have the room to talk nicely to terrorists.
You just talked about El-Rufai. I remember when he was the governor of Kaduna State.
Yes.
El-Rufai told us how he settles bandits. Is that part of what he's bringing on board in your party? Because you just quoted him. So do you think settling bandits like he did when he was the governor is the way to go?
El-Rufai said the only repentant
he said it. No, I mean when he was governor. When he was governor, I'm asking.
No, when he was governor, that was when he said it. He said it after to remind you what he said when he was a governor. And that is the one I agree with.
Okay. So ahead of 2027, Peter Obi has decamped into
you were
ADC.
saying about 2027 because
Peter Obi has decamped into the ADC.
Yes, and he's welcome. One of our respected leaders.
Are you proud of the way he handled the crisis in Labour Party while he was there?
I am no longer a member of Labour Party.
You are a public affairs analyst.
Labour Party is dead. So why are you whipping it up?
Barrister, thank you so much for coming on my talk today.
God bless you.
Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
And that is all that time will permit us to take on this particular edition of Fireworks, and to make it another opportunity next week on the same platform. I remain yours sincerely, Eshomomo Inedu. Bye for now.